Hi, I'm Joyce, the Energy Lady. I've had so many conversations in the last week with people who are caregivers of a loved one that I'm going to address that subject today. I may have already done a video about this a while ago, but it seems to be up and coming right now. One of the things that Napoleon Hill said in his book, Winning Friends and Influence, How to Win Friends and Influence People, was that you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And I like to take that a little further and say you become the energy of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you're a caregiver of some sort and you are taking care of somebody who is sick or has an ailment of some sort, then you take on their sick energy because that's who you're surrounding yourself with. So what are you doing for you? What are you doing to take care of yourself? If you are a caregiver, how are you caring for yourself? The other thing is to remind yourself that you are not their savior. It's not up to you to save the person that you're caring for. Now, if it's a spouse, a really close loved one, I have to say that I was my mother and father's caregiver. They moved into my home in, I can't remember which year, but 1999. My father only lived with us for a year before he passed. My mother lived with us for another 4 years. And she had had a stroke, and so she needed care and taking baths and eating and preparing her food and that kind of thing. And it was wearing, and I did need respite. My siblings would come and stay at my home while I could get away from my home for a week at a time. And I adored my mother. I loved her so much. And she was the dearest person to take care of. Very wonderful and very kind and very gracious and always grateful. Grateful for every little thing. She would thank me for putting on her makeup. She would thank me for putting powder on her. Thank me for putting lotion on her. Thank me for showering her. That was a wonderful way to take care of somebody. Not everybody people take care of is that grateful, but it was still difficult. The difficult part was she wasn't who she once was. And that is something that I hear from people who are caregiving for people who have changed. They're not who they were. They're not the person they were before X happened, whether it be a stroke, an illness, whatever it might be. And so that person who's being the caregiver has some expectations, and those expectations are not being met. They want them to be the way they used to be. I have to admit, when I moved my mother in with me, I was so excited thinking, we'll take art classes together. We'll, do craft projects together. And she wasn't able to do that. And so thinking about the things that you've expected as a caregiver and how they're not being met, that's where forgiveness can come in. You can forgive yourself for those expectations. Forgive yourself for expecting that person to be different. Forgive God for letting this happen to your loved one. There's great forgiveness to be said for people who are doing caregiving for yourself and for the person you're taking care of. The other step is to make sure you're cutting the cords. Please cut the cords after you've done a form of service, whether it be bathing them, whether it be preparing them a meal, putting them to bed, dressing them, or just listening to them, or being around them. When you walk away, cut the cords. The reason for this is because you don't need to take on what they're doing. The other thing is take a walk outside. If you can't go away for long, then just walk around the block or walk out in your backyard, whether it's cold or sunshiny. Get some fresh air. The other thing is to get some respite care. Get somebody who can come in and take care of that person while you get away. And remember, there's God, there's Christ, there's a higher power and divine source who is here to help. You're not the only one that can save that person. And it's not up to you to be the only one to save that person. So please remember that as a caregiver, you need to take care of you. Number one, you can do nothing for that person if you wear yourself out. So get outside, do some things for yourself that you enjoy, do some energy work, do some forgiveness, get some respite care, get some ways, look for some ways to take care of you, something that you enjoy. And do that on a regular basis. Don't just do it once a year. I'm saying do it on a regular basis. So I hope this was helpful for any of those. If it was, let me know. And if you have more questions about this, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you. So with that, have a great day.